Right, today is Saturday, the 17th of February. I can't remember the last time we ever went live on a Saturday. I don't think we've done it for a long time, and I was just feeling the feeling, especially as we didn't do a Friday night live last night. But as we're not accustomed to doing a Saturday night live, I don't know who's going to be around, but I'm just checking in. And if you're out and about and you feel like hanging out, let's hang out a little bit. Yeah? What do you say? We start the thing. Let them know we're here.
Tell me what the fighting for. What they killing for. We don't need no more now. So tell them wicked people. Fire go burn them. Fire go burn them. Oh Lord, I said this is the year for love. Fire go burn them. Fire go burn them. Oh, say little boy, you ain't bad at all. Another one just gone. Boy, you beat your chest and smile. Say you's a madman. Another young boy fall. Your soul can't rest at night. Oh, you's a bad man. Bad man is a man who will defend woman and protect the young ones by any means, Lord. You ain't no bad man, boy, now. You ain't no bad man. A real bad man just makes his own decisions. He don't need anyone. He only needs God. You ain't no bad man, boy, now. You ain't no bad man. So, sit down, rock back. Tell them I don't need no strap to defend my people from wicked and evil. Whoa. So, sit down, rock back. Big man, look for a walk. You're too damn evil. If you distress my people, then fire go burn them. Fire go burn them. Oh Lord, I said this is the year for love. Fire go burn them. Fire go burn them. Oh, say little boy, you ain't bad at all. Tell me what they're fighting for. What they killing for. We don't need no war now. There's no need. So tell me what they're fighting for. What they killing for. We don't need no war now. I said we don't want no more now. A real bad man don't go around raping woman, influencing young ones to kill a boy now. He ain't no bad man, boy now. He ain't no bad man. A real bad man works so whatever he wants, and he don't need no gun. He's full of joy now. That is a bad man soldier. He ain't no bad man. So sit down, rock back. Tell them I don't need no strap to defend my people from wicked and evil. Whoa. So sit down, rock back. Big man, look for a walk. You're too damn evil. If they distress my people, then fire go burn them. Fire go burn them. Oh Lord, I said this is the year for love. Fire go burn them. Fire go burn them. Say little boy, you ain't bad at all. Tell me what the fight
So we
is
never accustomed to doing a live on Saturday.
for.
We still getting some calls. Won't let the put the chairman live, put the chairman live. Think about it and call me.
We don't need no war now. We don't want no war. What the fighting for? What they killing for? No. What the fighting for? What they killing for?
Right, so we talk now. 682-2110. You want to call in? We haven't had a call-in session for a long time. And tonight, this show is just going to be a literal line. So, I'm just trying to organize all of the things that I have to organize. If you see my commands, and they're getting more and more very professional, you know. And I have an iPhone, I have two iPhones, an iPad, and a MacBook Pro. I think Steve Jobs would be proud. Yeah, so alright, I can't deal with a million messages. I'm only taking calls. If you want to call in and contribute, let's do that. But I am getting way too many messages. Right, yeah. Today at 19 Stanmore Avenue, we had such a perfect meeting. Our meeting started today at 10:30. we had team leaders and management meeting at 11 o'clock on the dot. And then at 12, we started the public meeting, and we had multiples of breakout meetings happening simultaneously. We started our campaign management meeting today to launch our campaign for La Hoqueta Talparo. I was told today that the reason the PLM may call a by-election yet, we forced their hand. They vexed with me because we forced their hand with the Maxi Coffee issue, and now all the thing in his face. So Keith Rowley is going to be left with no choice but to call a by-election. But the reason he wasn't calling a by-election is he not sure. They know they're damaged. They know that they're very badly damaged, and that there is a very good chance that the PNM cannot win in La Hoqueta Talparo. But wait, the reason the opposition, I seen people posting all over Facebook, where the opposition, how come the opposition is so quiet on this? It's because they're doing their numbers too, and they don't know if they could win. Imagine 3 months down the road, a pepper in the parliament. Oh Lord, game change. Imagine 3 months down the road, a member of the Progressive Empowerment Party, a member for La Hoqueta Talparo, you want to see constituents get served, vote the Progressive Empowerment Party representative into Parliament. That entire House of Representatives, every time it meets, it will meet about whatever is on the order paper and La Hoqueta Talparo business. You will see all of a sudden how the House of Representatives is supposed to work with one constituency. You will see all the issues of La Hoqueta Talparo being addressed and dealt with. You will see how quickly. You will see people power. You will see the power of the state. You will see the power of the machinery of the parliament to compel government to act. You'll see the power of court. Let us get a Progressive Empowerment Party member into the parliament. You want to change the game? This is how we change the game. But just think, 3 months, 4 months down the road, parliament sitting, and a pepper in the parliament. Look, thing change for sure. We already start today our campaign machinery. We already start that today. We are planning, we're hitting the ground. On the 10th of March, we are going to be in La Hoqueta Talparo. We are having our first public meeting this year in La Hoqueta Talparo. We are going to be doing walkabouts. We are going to be doing cottage meetings. We're coming to meet you. We already have a constituency executive in La Hoqueta Talparo. We have a constituency executive in 39 of the 41 constituencies, and we're building out. So we were already on the ground there. And we're not coming to give you people from outside. It's La Hoqueta Talparo people dealing with La Hoqueta Talparo business. Watch and see how the game will change. Exactly how the constitution is written. But that meeting today, and to look around the room, some seated, some standing, I'm watching finance, the PRO, I'm watching communications, the membership team, the build-out, the constituency mobilization team. I'm watching teams, I'm watching representatives of all the different organizations within the Progressive Empowerment Party. And I'm watching everybody riveted to the demonstration. Listen now, I felt like we were in a war room getting ready to stand against evil. I felt that inside me today. I said, yes, boy, this thing happening. The Progressive Empowerment Party. And it's a rush for me right now to give out all of the information. All of it. I want nothing left inside of me. If for some reason I can't no longer contribute, you must have everything. You must have everything. So I don't want them to plan to think, blow up Philip and the party done. The party is the policies. The party is the idea of the Progressive Empowerment Party. The party is one people under one flag. The party must survive us all. Our party is not like the rest of those demagogue parties. The Progressive Empowerment Party today I liked that the head table, it rotated, people coming in, team leaders, while some go to different meetings, different team leaders, and the question and answer session continued. There was a time I moved through the space, and there were 3 meetings besides the public meeting happening at the same time, and I said, yes, boy, change is here. Change is here. Change is here. Today we discussed that there are still, we're only 1 year old, 1 year. Today's the 17th. We are literally 13 months old. 13 months old. Every time a 17th comes, we're a month more. We're born on the 17th of January 2017. Today, 13 months old. And seeing this much in place already, change coming. Change coming. Anyway, for all the people who don't know us, we discussed today that we will be having our monthly rallies. We're going to be having our monthly PEP rallies, public meetings in all the different constituencies in Trinidad and Tobago. We're coming to you. And in between those months, in between the weeks when we don't have public rallies, we're going to be having cottage meetings. If in your constituency, you want to call me and the leadership of the party down to wherever you are, and you put out some chairs and organize your neighbors and your community, we come in. This message on the road, we call it the Orange Trail, it's on the road. We're building out to where we could do 4 and 5 cottage meetings a night. We're not on joke. We're campaigning a message of hope that change can happen. And I asked today, it dawned on me when Patrick Manning told the nation in 2005 about Vision 2020. And then Rowley came back at 2015 and tell the nation about Vision 2030. I'm wondering, why would it take you so long? The things that need to fix in this country could fix so fast. Trinidad is a dot. Trinidad is a dot. I want to tell you how much Trinidad is a dot. Every time school closes, traffic ends. Just that. Every time school closes in Trinidad and Tobago, traffic ends. If you want to understand how immediately you could impact, I want you to use your imagination with me. The Progressive Empowerment Party is in government. And this morning, Hema and Fazir and the rest of the news media are at Piarco Airport for a press conference with the New York City Police Department Internal Affairs team that are here to clean up the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. 28 people, the first shift here. We plan to clean up the police service in 6 months, and they're here. And that press conference is being, and they're announcing that they have their tools to begin to work. They've been hired and contracted to come into the police service to investigate and identify all the criminal and corrupt elements within the police service, and the news media covering that. Because they have no choice. And tomorrow, while people still talking about, yeah boy, New York City Internal Affairs here, tomorrow, while they're still discussing that, 30 boats in the harbor, gunships, joint exercises between 4 international partners of Trinidad and Tobago are here for the next 6 months to shut down this nation's borders. A maritime security wall. While the real wall is being built, these partners will be conducting exercises in collaboration with our law enforcement, our Coast Guard, our Army, our immigration, our customs, and our police to shut the nation's borders down. No more drugs, no more guns, no more human trafficking like that. Immediately, just those 2 things will send tremors through the criminal underworld in this country. Business as usual is over. The Parliament sits that Friday. So now, internal affairs in the police service, we've secured the nation's borders, and we have 10,000 servicemen from international agencies here on joint exercises. So anybody with any little handgun and AR-15 who wiggy start to twitch and want to play the coming of the government, our friends here. Our friends here. So whether you are criminal and corrupt in uniform or without, we have friends here. While we're figuring out who we could trust, we have backup. So cool yourself. Sit back. What the man say in his song? Rock back. Don't put yourself in trouble. Because from the moment you see action start, put down your gun, friend. Because at some point, they're outside your door. At some point, I want you to understand, from the moment that security wall is in place, and we know that nothing, no marine craft could enter this country without being checked, immediately the gun squad is launched. $1,000 is being paid to law enforcement personnel only to bring guns in to be destroyed. You get a receipt when the gun is destroyed. No more recycling. Trinidad good at recycling cocaine and guns. No more recycling. It'll be destroyed. It'll be put back into stock inventory as a slab of molten iron. Look your receipt for your $1,000, friend. You're bringing 1,000 guns this month. Look your $1 million. Keith Rowley said they have 30,000 illegal guns in the country. Put aside $30 million. Enrich law enforcement officers, because we're cleaning up the rogue and the criminals. So the only police officers that we have left are good, decent, hard-working, law-abiding law enforcement officers, and I want them to drive Beamers and Mercedes-Benz, not on drug lord bribery, on hard work. And those who don't like the policy that we will be paying them incentives to motivate them. I hear people ask, why pay police to do the job they already pay to do? Because when you are given incentive, you work harder. When you know you could get an extra bonus and an extra profit, you go that extra mile. And that is the concept behind it. We want to make sure that we reward the good and the decent and the law-abiding to fix the country. That's our plan. Fix the country, shut it all down. All criminal enterprise must be done. Every leader of every police station in every community must account for the radius of his station. Anything, any drug block, any gang block, any ISIS recruiting center, anything like that going on in your community, you're fired. You are fired. Your job is law enforcement, and if you can't control the radius of your police station, you're fired, friend. Take your retirement. Take it now. Put somebody inside of there who understands 3 to 5 miles radius of this police station. If it moves, you must know why. Trust me when I tell you. Not Vision 2020 and Vision 2030. 6 months, 1 year, crime free. It's done. Because while that's happening, we will be rolling out program after program to pull the desperately poor out of poverty. We will make sure that hope and opportunity rings through this land. That hope rises like a sunrise. That people get for the first time choice to maximize their potential. So when your partner calls you to tell you, we're going to rob the Chinese man down the road, say, no friend, I have a job interview today. So while you know that honey come, because you could get jobs, the state will be launching a national jobs program. If you don't have a job, register. Our job is to make sure you have a job. I want you paying taxes. I want you gainfully employed. It will be our job. You just come and put your name down. Tell us what you know. We will help you get a job, whatever it is. Because we will be building a nation where the minimum wage is a living wage. Where the minimum wage could own a home. Where the minimum wage could put food on the table for the family, clothes on the children's back. All of a sudden, the things start to make sense. All of a sudden, people understand that they're part of a nation. Nobody left behind. All of a sudden. So quickly, no Vision 2020, 2030, 15 years down the road. Kiss my ass for that. You're fooling the people. In 6 months, the police service clean up, and next 6 months, the army clean up. All the rogues, all the corrupt, all the criminal who are on charge in court. But they're all out of the service, and the maritime security wall is being built. And police they're getting drug tested, they're getting polygraphed, they're getting continuous physical and law enforcement training. But more importantly, they have incentives. You see how the wrecker works? How from the time they move that car, everybody got a piece of the action? When you lock up a drug baron, work out the numbers. Because if that conviction stands, you get a bonus. A bandit, a crook, whatever. Once they break in the law, you give out a ticket. That ticket, every ticket a police officer writes, they get in a piece of that action. And yes, body cams and dashboard cams to make sure that zealous prosecuting don't take place. Because wrongful prosecution will result in suspension, investigation, and termination. And you don't want to lose it because police don't make money. In a progressive empowerment party country, Police, farmers, and teachers in for money. Them have money to get. Teachers getting bonus with every child that do better this year than last year. Every single child that is a charge of yours that do better this year than last year get a bonus. You're getting a bonus per child. Every school principal getting a bonus per class. All of a sudden the thing makes sense. And those who don't like us giving public servants incentive and motivation, stick your fingers in your ear, because you just work hard to buy nice thing. You go and buy machine, you buy a new car, brand spanking new car. You drive it out the lot and you go and spend the next $10,000 on rims and tires. Why? Because you want to live nice. They want to live nice too. And the people who are very important to the development of any country, law enforcement, farmers, teachers, we must make sure they're treated with respect. All of a sudden the thing makes sense. All of a sudden the thing makes sense. The principal in charge of the school. All of a sudden tutor can't tell no principal. You just call lulls off, man. They have rules. We work in the They tell tutor kiss my ass. We getting paid to look after these children. We will look after these children. All of a sudden you will hear about rostering and supervision and no more bullying and fighting taking place in school. The teachers will be augmented with security by the gate. You can't just walk in a school anymore, and you can't go and loud up no teacher. You'll get charged. All of a sudden, the thing makes sense. All of a sudden. You don't need vision 2020 and 2030, 15 years down the road. We could fix this country in one term. All of a sudden, the 7,000 farmers whose names don't farm, they can call in for emergency interviews. What can you farm? Are you an actual farmer? What do you know? Let's put you to work. We want to bring the price of food down immediately. Let's get our farmers farming. Let's get our food growing. Food takes a while to grow. Let's get food growing. So by the end of the first term, you will know that we're consuming more homegrown than imported vegetables and fruits. All of a sudden, the things start to make sense. Price of food dropped by 2/3. All of a sudden, you find you have extra money in your pocket. All of a sudden, you're finding that. All of a sudden, you find an extra $20 and an extra blue note. And all the bills paid. All of a sudden, we could have a properly functional first world working paradise on earth. You could go to work in short pants and slippers and still deliver. This slavery mindset where a handful must get massively rich and everybody else sucks salt, dead. This mindset that you could get stopped in a police exercise, and because you're a big pappy, go on and interfere with the police officer in the commission of their duties, all that done. And I said today, like a rising tide lifts all boats, we are going to make sure that equality doesn't just mean at the grocery checkout counter. Equality means before justice too. Don't commit no wrong. Because big shot, small shot, Goodwood Park Hill, Valsayn, Labantel and Beetham, everybody is the same before the court. Justice is blind for a reason. We will make sure that this country works. All of a sudden you will hear UDCOT shut down, Sport TT shut down, EMBD shut down, EFCL shut down, VEMCOT shut all down, shut it down. All special purpose companies with immediate effect. All non-essential state boards shut down with immediate effect. A robust and transparent tenders board. If the state have to buy it, you must know who they buy it from, how much they pay for it, and why that person get the contract. It'll be published in the National Gazette. All of a sudden, the things start to make sense. All of a sudden, laws pass, rules pass. You can't get a contract to do state work, build state development, maintenance, contracts in any constituency unless your company is registered in that constituency and your workers come from that constituency. So we will drill the money right down where it's needed. All of a sudden the things start to make sense. All of a sudden the average bricklayer, carpenter, hustler, mason, welder, anybody, once you have a craft, once you're involved in a trade, you could go and get assessed and certified. They'll tell you what you worth per hour, because all of a sudden we need to make sense. We need to make sure that all of our mechanics and hairdressers and real estate agents are certified and licensed, that they know what the hell they're doing. So you don't hire somebody and pay them a $10,000 to build a wall and the wall fall down. All of a sudden the things start to make sense. All of a sudden the little hustlers that could only get $200 a day find out, but use a grade 2 mason, you could make $600 a day. All of a sudden the thing makes sense. And you see that lowest class, you see how everything I just spoke about raised the lowest class. It raised them above the poverty line. Literacy first will be a policy of the Progressive Empowerment Party government. You cannot deal with the state for housing, CPEP, URP, any kind of contract, any kind of job without doing a literacy test. If you are arrested and charged for any crime from the smallest to the biggest, first thing the judge and the magistrate will have to do by law is to order a literacy test. Every single person going forward, literacy first. We will engage ALTA and the other literacy organizations and get all of our people literate, because you teach people to read and you open the world to them. All of a sudden people have choice. Choice brings hope and opportunity. And all you need to do is give people hope and opportunity and get out their way. Like my partner Winston Duke, who landed in America, read 3 comic book and he's a Black Panther. All of a sudden, hope and opportunity took natural, innate, training talent and made him a superstar. Made Onika Maraj into Nicki Minaj. We have people leave this country that had nothing, and go and become the best in their field in the world. Trinidad must be so. Trinidad must be so to all of our people, because our people are naturally talented. Trinidad and Tobago is Eden that they wrote in the Bible. They wrote about Eden. You ever heard the word utopia? It's Trinidad they was talking about. We committed a national crime. We took chain up from a nasty, stinking, dirty man, Eric Williams, and every one of his peons and apostles and disciples that flowed from there. Every single one of them, including Bastio Pandey, Patrick Manning that beget Keith Rowley and Kamala Prasad Bisesa, all of them, that is fruit of the same poison tree. And we need to end that now. Because this country is a victim of mismanagement, corruption, and greed. Nothing works. But underneath that, peel it back, everything could work like that. So you tell me, what's keeping us from having a better life? What's keeping us from ending crime? What's keeping us from making all of the change that we need to make this country a better country, so that every creed and race could in fact find an equal place? What is keeping us from becoming
Progress
the nation that this country was set up to be? We need change. We need change at a systemic level.
You can't change what's going on around
people to rise and fulfill their potential. I am telling you, give yourself that chance. Now, see where this
George Maynard Show,
see where this
your tango,
time for real change.
If you can look as far as I see, within this great land we call TNT, there's birds and bees, rivers and seas, pretty woman bringing man to their knees. Treasures of this blessed land we always neglect, like ISO and pan. I find it so strange the way we arrange. Still this nation don't know how to change. To some change it might just mean a new car. Change could mean less than $1. To most change have this nice scent we usually get from the government. You see, change is something we always say, but every time we change things remain the same way. Things keep getting worse and worse, so this is what I propose. Let's change the change for a better nation. Change the change for all foundations. Change the change so that we could say that this nation here came from quite down there. I say change the change within the school systems. Stop changing ministers and change what we teach them. Cause things won't change despite all we do if change doesn't start with you.
Hello, Francis. This man deserves that monarchy. He deserves it for this song. Listen to the words of this song. Listen to the words of this song. This little boy no more than the Prime Minister, than your last 4 Prime Ministers. Listen.
It's murders, killings galore, so much gunmen fighting needless war. Can't tell you stay, can't tell you go, cause this still the land we used to know. Homeless, every corner you meet, and they complimented by our dirty streets. Then we wonder why in our sister isle, why they don't like Trinis to come and spend time. When you see change is much more than paving an old road, and change is greater than fixing a lamp pole. Change is about the whole nation, and how we are portrayed when the party done. Who set these standards in my T&T? I really wish somebody here could tell me. It's just the same thing again and again, like we leaders don't use the brain. So change within our country. Change so the whole world could see. Change for a better future, so we don't have to depend on our next mayor. Say change within the society, otherwise we'll have a bandit factory. But things won't change despite all we do if change doesn't start with you. Yeah.
And that's where we are. That's where we are right now. The vision for a better Trinidad and Tobago exists with each and every one of you. You know what it takes to fix your house. You know what it is to fix your family. You know what it takes to fix your yard. You know what it takes to fix your street. You know what your neighborhood require. You know what your community require. You know what your constituency require. And you even know what this country needs. Change is us. And the Progressive Empowerment Party, one of the things we're going to form the minute we get into government is something called the Activist Council. And the Activist Council is a monthly meeting of every activist organization in this country. Not just the people we like or get along with, everybody. Once you're an activist for a better Trinidad and Tobago, people, animal, environment, land, sea, air, whatever. Once you're an activist, sit on that council and tell us. Because the activists have their ears to the ground. And one of the problems when you get into government is you get further and further from the actual people. We want to put as many things as possible in place. The Activist Council will instruct us. We have something else we're doing called a Quality of Life Index. We will be publishing a website. Its entire purpose is to judge how you feel. The only question it asks is, are you happy? If not, why not? And you tell us. You can write an essay, you can write keywords, you can tell us crime, traffic, cost of living, whatever. You tell us. And it sorts itself out and it tells the government, it tells the ministers, and it tells you the things that are wrong in the country. And everybody will be instructed by that. And more importantly, ministers will be told, those who clock in high percentages of the things that are wrong with the country, your job, friend, is to reduce that number. And if you can't, fire yourself. PEP is not jobs for life thing, jobs for the boys and jobs for life and all that foolishness. That is not what we are about. This is a political organization built on service. When Father Harold Imamsha blessed us and said to us, be servants who lead and leaders who serve, I will never forget that. That's our role, to be servants who lead and leaders who serve. That's our role. We will walk the length and breadth of this country. Every constituency will have a team management, a constituency management team. Their job is to report to central government. We must know at all times what is wrong where. There will be no more proactive excuse making. Reactive excuse making, there will be proactive governance. Government will be on the ground to end flooding, to end crime, to make sure that everybody has jobs. All of our ambassadors and high commissioners will be brought back to the country. We will appoint people who are trained and capable in doing two things: selling Trinidad and Tobago to the world and bringing foreign direct investment to Trinidad and Tobago. If you can't do one or both of those things, there's no place for you. That's the sole purpose of an ambassador or a high commissioner, to bring business and sell Trinidad business. All of a sudden, the things start to make sense. All of a sudden, the average person in Tobago, you want to get into the goat race business, how much for 4 goats? There's 4 goats you need to set up your race. How much you need to run your business? We working with you. Because when the tourists land, we want 1 million feet on the ground. So we say that if 1 million people land in Tobago and spend $1,000 US, $1 billion, we want that. 1,000 million is $1 billion. $1 billion US in Tobago right now will raise Tobago, make Tobagonians walk proud again. So we want to make sure that when those 1 million pairs of feet touch down, there's things for them to do. Bicycle to ride, to rent to ride car, guest house, goat race, tour guides. Tobago have plenty to see. We have reef, we have nylon pool, we have the oldest protected rainforest in the world is in Tobago. All of that. And we need to make sure, Pigeon Point, the beaches. Oh, I drove around Tobago. One carnival, I was in Tobago, and I took a map, and me and a friend, we drove around the entire island, stopped at all of the things that they had on the map and crossed it off, and said, we came to this. We visited that. And tourists need to see all those things. Tobago is beautiful. Tobago is supposed to be the tourism capital of the world. It could be. There is no other country in the world that has what Tobago has. There is no other island. When you see them Photoshop pretty filter pictures that show you people with sea, aqua, blue and green, Tobago could have that too. We could just, all we need to do is want it. All we need to do is want it and make it happen. Tobago is supposed to be the tourism paradise, #1 in the world. #1 in the world. All I'm saying to you by this conversation is that it doesn't take 10 and 15 years to fix Trinidad and Tobago. Keith Rowley has been Prime Minister for 2.5 years and done shit all to fix the country. Nothing works. And he inherited nothing working from Kamala, who was here for 5 years of stunting. And before her, Manning and Pandey and all of the bullshit that came with them and all of the nonsense and all of the failure of all of the organizations, and nothing works. And a bunch of rich people own a bunch of buildings that have a bunch of state offices paying them exorbitant rents to do shit all. And 200,000 people comes into Port of Spain every day to do what the hell I don't know. I told people today how a driver's permit don't require a licensing office. A driver's permit, you're supposed to be able, once you've been approved for your license, you're in the system. And unless they cancel your license, you're entitled to renew it whenever you want. And you're supposed to be able to do it with an online registration, sit down in a photo booth, take a picture, slide your links card, pay your $2,000, and then drop out right there. Hot in your hand, and you go. 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day, you're supposed to be able to renew your license without taking a whole day of line up here, line up there, and jamming. And people looking for bribe. All of this that's set up to fail, we need to undo and redo. That's our policy. Undo and redo. The name of our manifesto is Reboot the Republic. We're going to turn it off and turn it back on. When we turn it back on, we wouldn't have amalgamated security driving prisoners all over the country. The courts will be in the jails or in close proximity to the jails. Justice on time will literally mean justice on time. All of a sudden, the things start to make sense. And it will be a rule and a law that nobody has blue lights to part traffic unless it's an emergency. And anybody who gets blue lights must trigger a notification on GPS anytime you turn on your emergency apparatus. National Operations Center must immediately start tracking you. And they must, when you switch it back off, you are to expect a call. You just triggered your emergency apparatus. What was that about? Why were your siren and lights on? Where were you going? What was the emergency? And you better be able to prove it. Because if you can't, you lose the privilege, and worse, you could be fired for misbehaving in public office. When you're sitting in a vehicle equipped with blue lights and sirens as a perk, not even a perk, a tool of office, and you misuse it, that's misbehavior. That's misbehavior. Right there. Fire your ass. And trust me, I think that I'm brilliant. And I know I'm replaceable. So I can't think of a single soul in this country, in any job, from the Chief Justice, President, come right back down the line, that not replaceable. Every single one of us, replaceable. Let's make sure that we put systems in place with measurable targets. These are your goals. We must be able to say that the courts, 3 years for civil actions and 5 years for criminal matters, and 1 day more than either 3 years or 5 years, toss the matter. And any judge that have too many matters getting tossed because you fail to manage the case within the time frame, fire the judge. All of a sudden, the things start to make sense. All of a sudden, everybody's job is tied to performance. When you tell the sergeant and the inspector that in charge of the police station, a 3-mile radius around your station is your responsibility. Anything go wrong, a swizzle stick gets stolen, you better know. And you better know how to lock down your constituency and catch the man who thief the swizzle stick. Let word spread. You see Diego Martin West? Don't come in Diego Martin West. Them police eating nice. Them catching and holding people. You see, all of a sudden, when the things start to make sense, the country will work. All of a sudden, people will stop leaving. The foreign-based Chinese will come back home and invest. Our foreign-based Chinese are booming the economies of foreign countries. They could come with their businesses and boom ours. It is time that we get the country that we deserve. The PNM and the UNC have been fronting an oligarchy. An oligarchy is a group of people whose the entire reason for joining and banding together is to gang up against everyone else and rob, rape, pillage, and plunder to their biggest benefit. And our job, I want to drive all the way to the top of Goodwood Park Hill. I like Forest law. I support in Forest with that law. If you can't explain your wealth, you could be in trouble. I want to go all the way to the top of Goodwood Park Hill. I want all them big shots, especially those with political connection, to explain those palatial mansions. When you come to the mess,
all we talk about is race. Race to the rum shop, race to the mask camp, race into belt some ways. There's an island down in the south by the Orinoco Mount. Funk and fire, doom and desire. What place I'm talking about? Talking about Trinidad. We have the goods and the bad. Welcome to Trinidad, where half the country mad. Talking about TDO, Bacchanal, that's the way we flow. Shots will fire, waves will melt when we hear a soul calypso. If you come by plane with a lie, or by a boat the coast garden sea. But this ain't no mama guy, this is the land of the free is free. Fire, so come on down, join the Lego. This is lawless, not Trinity. So bend back and start the bubble. All of we is one family. Oh darling, talking about Trinidad. We have the goods and the bad. Welcome to Trinidad, where half the country mad. Talking about TDO, Bacchanal, that's the way we flow. Shots will fire, waves will melt when we hear a soul calypso. Friends and Dennis partners, we have we own reality. Down here, 1 and 1 could be 11. That's the culture you see. Hold on for the ride of your life. Who knows what's around the bend? And if you're feeling some hesitation, remember shyness and rub his friend. Oh, down, talking about Trinidad. We have the goods and the bad. Talking about Trinidad, where half the country mad. Talking about TDO, Bacchanal, that's the way we flow. Shots will fire, waves will melt when we hear a soul calypso.
all of a sudden the banking sector will be put on notice. Regulation will be revisited to the financial sector of the country. We will open the banking sector to competition because you can't have 3 banks, 4 banks sharing up the $5 billion in profits every year. Let's invite other banks in here. Let's compete. Let Trinidadians here come and open an account in this new bank and you get a toaster and a waffle maker and a kettle, because that's what we need. Come in here, we guarantee you in and out in 5 minutes, no long lines, service like that. And all of a sudden, Scotia, RBC, Republic, and FCB will start to serve you again. All of a sudden, because them other 5 banks want that $5 billion. All of a sudden, when you walk in your branch that you used to line up out the door, all of a sudden, you realize that they knew what those 12 wickets was for. All of a sudden, 12 staff in all the wickets. All of a sudden, the customer service manager walking up and down, telling the teller, hey, how you taking so long with this customer? All of a sudden, ma'am, can I help you, sir? Are you being served? All of a sudden, the banks all of a sudden giving you toilets. The elders getting seats. Can I offer you a cup of coffee? Welcome to our branch. All of a sudden, interest being paid on depositors' funds. You have to make that money somewhere. All of a sudden, credit back in the economy. Imagine a country where banking works, where to get foreign exchange. You go to the bank and you get your foreign exchange. And if there's only 100 million to share, it's $1 million a week, $100 a man. Make sure everybody get it, not all for Starbucks and KFC, and you have to catch your ass. All of a sudden, the things start to make sense. Listen, Trinidad and Tobago could be paradise on earth in quick time, not 2020, 2030. All of a sudden, this country could work. Hello, good evening, you're live.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yes, hello.
Mr. Phillip, yes, you hear me well?
Yes, I am, you're live.
Okay. What I'm calling considering, right, and it's something you maybe want to take a look at as well into. HDC, right, in Marabella, there is a HDC development in a place called Hamley Hall. It's one of the first developments, and it's there years now. And it just goes to show how corrupted the past governments were, both PM and UNC. could you imagine there are families, you know, that are desperately in need of homes. And there have been 3 of these HDC houses that are, you know, right next to each other. And there were never anyone living in them, you know, they were never occupied. And as soon as this government won the elections, a few months after that, you know, one guy came that, you know, he refurbishing the entire thing and made these 3 houses in a sort of gated community. And it's owned by one person.
Alright, my friend, I want to interrupt you because I want to tell you something. It is my personal view that the entire HDC is a cancer. It needs to be lanced from Trinidad and Tobago. The Housing Development Corporation needs to be shut down. The Progressive Empowerment Party not going to be in the business of allocating who gets houses. We will make sure that everybody qualifies for.
I'm very well aware of it, actually. I know your all plans.
We put in all of those houses for sale, and everybody who occupying an HDC house now they will have to pay for it. We will put all of the houses for sale and we will make the financing available. But all of those unfair injustices that you talk about, every time I hear a new one, it upsets me more. But I want to tell you, I hope you're on board. I hope you're helping to build the Progressive Empowerment Party, and you will be there to tear down that gated community.
Of course.
Thank you, my friend. Thanks for calling.
All right, have a good night.
You too, my friend. We need it to work. We need the country to work. We need to fix everything. All of these little things. Business people can't get credit to run their business, but they have other business people opening a branch a week. Come on, man. My jackass, big China, what? I'm not a fool. You're playing with the economy. We need to make sure that everybody has the same access to the same credit, the same hope and opportunity. We must make sure that all of our people get a chance at life. And it mustn't just be for friends and family and backers and financiers of the government. Not at all. That have to be done. It has to come to an end. You, in your lifetime, you must see people, the biggest industry that will take place in Trinidad. Somebody is calling me from blocked ID and I don't answer those while I'm on air, and I apologize for that. So if you're hearing me and you're calling to go live, you need to send your number because I can't answer it. Anyway, you will know the Progressive Empowerment Party is succeeding at its goals when the biggest industry in this country will be welders removing wrought iron and iron gates and iron bars from people's homes. All of a sudden, see that guy who driving around, old battery and scrap iron buying, they go kill him with scrap iron. Because all that wrought iron, people want to open their window and lean out again. When was the last time you opened my window and lean out? Remember that? I grew up in Woodbrook. We didn't have no burglar prophet. That was a sudden shock when you could no longer sit down in a window. Remember sitting down in a window, hanging your feet outside and lying with your neighbors. We need to go back to a place like that. I want to know these 3 things. I want to know that wrought iron and burglar proofing cut off of everybody's house. I want to know people can leave their door open, and if you don't belong in there, you're outside knocking, good day ma'am, good day sir. And I want to know people line up in the snow to get visa to come to Trinidad, the way Trinidadians used to have to line up 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning to get a Canadian visa. Hello, good evening, you're live.
Good evening, Philip Alexander.
How are you, my friend?
I am not bad at all. I want to tell you, I support a lot of your ideas. But in the ranting that you run, I hope you recognize that you're bordering strongly on a communist country.
Not at all. Not at all. I just told the nation. No. We talking about opening banks to competition. No, you're talking stupidness. I can't let you talk stupidness. Opening the finance sector to bring in competing banks to make sure that credit back in the economy so you could move from being an employee to an employer. How is that communist?
I am not speaking about the banking, sir.
We're talking about making it possible for every single person who wants to own a home to own a home. That is equity. That is putting people to work. How is that communist?
Problem. You just want to talk about what you want to talk about.
Tell me how it's communist, friend. You tell me.
Right? And that person personally is my peeve with you.
It's my peeve with me too. I just talk too much.
To what you want to
All right, tell me how it's communist. I can't let you get away with making a scathing indictment like that. Go ahead.
I listened to you on Thursday on the radio program, and I heard you mention some things that I was like, wait a minute, but he is speaking very much about Nazi Germany. You mentioned that you would go into the areas where you know criminals is and arrest them and charge them and whatnot and whatnot. And I'm like, wait a minute, what about evidence? What about facts?
You heard me say that?
Yes, I heard you say that.
You heard me say that I will go into people's neighborhoods and arrest them. But now, somebody said you're out here with talking points. I want you to go back and tell me.
He was empowered.
All right. I want to ask you again, one more time. You said our policies are communist. Tell me if you want. Show me how our policies. Let me see.
I never said your policies are communist.
You said you're bordering on communism. Tell me.
Bordering on communism.
Show me. Show me how. How are we bordering on communism?
But I just explained that to you.
No. You just talk about totalitarianism, which is a different thing. Communism is a different thing altogether, and I was defending that. You don't even know what you're trying to tell me. You're accusing me of stuff and you don't understand it. How are we bordering on communism?
When you want to go into people's, when you want to tell a police officer that he is responsible for the person that grab a chain and run, come into here and grab a chain and run, and he will get loose if he don't catch who it is. What's that?
You heard me say he will lose his walk if he don't catch?
Yes.
I am telling the police officer in charge. I'm telling the police officer in charge of the police station that for a 3-mile radius around your station, you are responsible for every act of crime that takes place. I want to ask you something. What then? I want to ask you a question.
In theory.
What is his?
In the United States, huh? In theory. Right?
All right, my friend. I understand. Okay.
We think every month or everything that they have to answer to why the crime, why the robbery, why the this, why an answer. That you don't have in Trinidad and Tobago. Right? One of the things I would like, but I agree that the 2022 divisions, there are a lot of things that could be put in place that we don't have to wait until 2020 and 2030. You have good ideas, you know. Implementing them might be a challenge.
Not at all. Not at all. I want to tell you something, friend. Listen, Listen. No.
That will fight you and tell you, well, what are you going to do? You see, are we going to do this? I want, mind you, you might be digging a hole for yourself with all your good intentions. You might be digging a hole for yourself.
Thank you, my friend. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for calling. That's what we had to fight. That mindset that the good is the enemy of the best. That mindset is what we had to fight. And I'm telling you, that we had to lead by example. And I had to take those calls. And if you elect me Prime Minister, I'll be taking those calls live every day. Because Trinidadians, that same guy, you pick him up and you drop him in New York City, and a crime take place in an area where he is, and there is something called fit the description. They're bringing you in here now. Explain where you were. Fit the description. And you see, it sounds draconian. But when people know police that serious, that is why murder in New York City for 8 million people was, what, 291 this year? Last year? We, for 1 million, crossed 500. Crossed 500. But I hope the caller is still listening. And I want you to understand, and I need you to research your terminology, because I got upset when you said communist, because I am an out-and-out capitalist. But my personal philosophy is capitalism without compassion is a prescription for confusion. And Trinidad and Tobago, at its current state, is a testimony to that. We need to make sure that everybody has access, that the basic needs of a human being, that everybody has access to home ownership, affordable food, quality education, first world healthcare, and security of the person. Once we get those things for everybody, the other things will start to fall in place. I understand that he thinks that there will be people who are so married to the corrupt system that they will want to fight us. We anticipate that too. We anticipate that the oligarchs and the little strutting dictators are going to want to defend their turf. We're expecting that play as well. And we're going to make sure things are put in place to deal with them. Because we're going to undo and redo. We want a police service that works. We want law enforcement that works. We want an army that makes sense, serves a purpose, homeland security. We want to undo the president's office. We don't need it. We want to undo the Senate. We don't need that. There's a lot of things that need to change. Make this country functional again. Those things haven't done. And some people, they're going to drag them along, kicking and screaming into the mule.
Your vote will decide our destiny. Your vote will decide what you want to be. Your vote can protect our country's fate. Move and use it well before it's too late. If it is that who you're voting, fail beyond a doubt. When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is they prove it,
To be honest,
pull them out. When you're voting.
and I like that though. The other side, PNM and UNC, they're no longer questioning if we could do it. They're starting to fight the policies themselves now because they see the Progressive Empowerment Party is coming. And they see that there is a chance that the people are going to pile on. And that piling on will result in a massive landslide. And they're seeing it. So now all the little party groups that make up the PNM and the UNC and the oligarchy, all of those little feeders trying to defend their turf because it is worrying them that we're coming to undo and redo the ridiculousness that keeps Trinidad and Tobago isolated to the point where nothing works. The more I think about that call, is the more I want to invite that guy to come to a PEP meeting and stand up and debate us there until he understands what it is we're trying to do. The floor will be his. Friend, if you're hearing me, our next meeting is this coming Saturday, 19 Stanmore Avenue at noon. You're invited.
Vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the time is now that change should come about, just as how you vote them in, vote them out. Register and vote them out. If they don't see, vote them out. Stain your finger and vote them out. Show them no mercy, vote them out. Vote them out with total scorn and utter disdain. Let's put our country together again. Put them out of power, dominate their reign. Let's put our country together again. If for 30 years you voting them in, and it's only tears as soon as they win, they give you big words and enslave your soul, promising you roads and giving potholes. If they are the reason why the economy won't sprout, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the passing laws that them alone can flout, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the building eyesores, east, west, north, and south, the same way you vote them in, vote them out. register and fuck them out. Totally fuck them out. State your finger and fuck them out. Rescue the country. Fuck them out. Put them out with tempo. They happy in pain. Let's put our country together again. Put them out with calypso and joyous refrain. Let's put our country together again.
Today at 19th Stanmore Avenue, the turnout was amazing. So many new faces came to sign up and get on board. And I have some housekeeping to do. Canadians, Toronto-based peppers, and all Canadian and environs around Toronto, the PEP, the Progressive Empowerment Party Toronto chapter, is having a membership meeting Sunday, February 25th between 3 and 5 p.m. at Loafers Lake Rec Centre, 30 Loafers Lake, LN, Brampton, Ontario, L6Z1X9. That's on my wall. New members welcome. Spread the word. Come one, come all. Time is money, so please be on time. I love how the Canadians talk. That is the Canadian chapter of the PEP. They're having a meeting on the 25th of February between 3 and 5 at Loafers Lake Recreation Centre. Reach out to Anil Maraj or Marissa Bash. You could message me if you can't find them, and I'll hook you up with them. Other housekeeping, membership. We have a membership, massive membership drive starting now for the PEP and the membership card. There's going to be a new card being distributed. You're going to want to get that card. It's coming with a tagline, membership has advantages, and that card is going to help you. That card is going to save you a lot of money. This Saturday coming, we're back at 19 Stanmore Avenue, but we're asking for the following Saturday, anybody in Arima or South that has a space that they're willing to lend us for our Saturday meetings, because we have a public meeting every Saturday at noon, and we want to take even that on the road. We want to come Chaguanas. We want to go, Central, South, East, Tobago. We want to make sure that even that, because our headquarters is at Stanmore Avenue, but we don't want it to be Port of Spain centric, where people who want to come to meetings have to travel all the time. We want at some point that we will come to you. So if you have anywhere, space, place available that you would like to make available to us for this our meeting, I guess seating for about 200 people, 150, 200 should be normal, should be acceptable. If you have anything and you would like to accommodate us, we would appreciate it. Reach out to Debbie Lee Jaikaran on my wall, Debbie Lee Jaikaran, or Felicia Holder, chairman of the party. I'd like to say tonight at Ali G, head of the overseas chapters, and Dilwood Braffett, one of our two deputy political leaders, and he is the National Security Advisor, part of the National Security Advisory team. They've both been here, and we spent some time with them, and it was really nice, and it's always too short, and they're going already, and I can't wait to get to a place where we bring all of our people back home and we can roll up our sleeves and fix this country. And I saw today in the meeting, if you ever went to a horse race and you saw the horses pawing at the ground, they're just in a hurry for the race to start, it's like that feeling of anticipation where people just want to get in there and fix this fast. And I can't wait for that day. Anyway, peptrinbago@gmail.com. We'll be launching new PEP email addresses soon. So this is the last couple of weeks for peptrinbago@gmail.com. I guess we'll miss that because it served us well. But you can still use it, and you'll be able to use it for next year or two, because we'll just redirect it. We're not just going to stop it and cut it off. peptrinbago@gmail.com. peptt.com is the website. peptt.com. You could sign up, you could join, you could donate. We need money. We are always going to be needing money. And anything that you could do to help, $1, $5, $10, $20, $100, $1,000, any amount of money that you're comfortable giving and donating to the party, because if you come and you see all that is done with the party, in the party, you'll realize that we need all the help we could get, and we thank you in advance for anything that you could do to assist us in rescuing our country. PEP app, PEP, APP, that's the PEP app. It's available at all app stores, and it's free of charge. For you, it's your app. 347-4PEP is the number. That's the hotline number. You can start keeping track of that. 347-4PEP. When it's busy, leave a message, send a text, they'll get back to you. And if you missed all of that and you need guidance, message me and I'll put you on to who you need to be put on to get the job done. Our party feels if you come and you sit today, listening to the team members address the public, listening to them deal with issues and answer the public. I saw people who just came to look on, to ask some questions. They had one guy, Marvin. I told Marvin I wasn't leaving the office till he signed up. Any question Marvin asked, we wanted to answer. And in the end, Marvin signed up. And it's a family. When you come and you see what it's like inside of there, and you just picture the whole of Trinidad and Tobago like that. I mean, meeting going on, and people come in and handing doubles and sandwiches and cake. I get a whole cake today already cut up. So it was just a matter of sharing that out. People who were in the audience, they started refusing food. There was so much stuff today. Good job, people. Well done. So Saturday coming, 19 Stanmore Avenue. Mark your calendar now because we're getting busy. We're getting very busy and we're looking for all the team members that we could get to come and add membership, finance, constituency build out. This one is important. The most important teams, well, I mean, all teams are important, but getting ready for election, the important teams, elections are won on the ground, and we need to build out our constituency executives. And if you would like to assist the party in building out on the ground in your constituency, because it's not just for elections, a progressive empowerment party government will be working with our constituency executives long after election. If we are in power, we will be needing you to continue, because our constituency executives must drill down by community, by neighborhood, by street, by house. We must know everybody and every problem and everything that needs solving. So, Salma, we didn't get the fridge yet, but we have 2 offers of fridges. So, and I want to tell you, we work with the Jericho Project. If you have a fridge that you don't need and you would like to donate, you can donate it to us. If we end up with more fridges, we will tell you Jericho Project will get it, because they have a lot of people, desperately poor people, that the Jericho Project works with to assist families. There's a family they've adopted in Valencia. There's another family they adopted on the North Coast, building houses. Slowly but surely, that's another good thing that you could get involved and help with. Yeah, so that's it. Anything else? Anything else you need? The team, Sarah Nabi, she's a deputy political leader. She's in charge of our social management. That's going to be possibly our biggest ministry if a progressive empowerment party gets into government. Our biggest ministry is going to be social development and management. We want to make sure that literally no citizen is left behind. We're talking about a Citizens Bill of Rights, Animal Bill of Rights, and Environment Bill of Rights. We want a country that works. We want you to be safe day and night, to walk the community, walk the country, enjoy this paradise that we were so blessed to be born in. Yeah, if you want to get involved, if you are a foreign-based Trini and you want to get involved, reach out to Ali G, Marissa Bash, Carla Jean, Abigail. If you have skills in any of the things that you know that we're going to need in rescuing the country, and you want to come on board now and get involved in helping us craft our policy, we desperately need all the help we could get. Finance, again, Shari Wilson, Satish Ramsaran, they're in charge of finance. If you want to come and help with that, come on and help us do fundraising and stuff. We absolutely need all the help we could get. Of course, Felicia Holder is the chairman. Sean Sunarayan is the deputy chair. Sean has been out of the country. He should be back this week, coming here. And oh my God, he gets so much done just by himself that his absence has been stressful. So we can't wait for him to come back. Keitha, you were absent today from a very important important meeting, and you can't miss our next meeting because we have to discuss some stuff with you too. So all of you, Trinidad and Tobago, let's start the process of joining together in our communities now. Let's start the process of having a conversation. Somebody told me today, don't talk PEP, talk Trinidad and Tobago. Do you want a better country? Do you want healthcare that works, yes or no? Because it comes down to that. Do you want a nation where crime is the past? Where you could leave your door open and go walking down the street at 10 o'clock in the night with your children, everybody's safe. Nobody interfere with nobody. Do you want education that educates your children and teaches them how to think, not just what? Do you want to live in a country where credit is available for you to open a business or buy a home? Do you want to live in a country where jobs are easy to find? Where the government takes your employment seriously and actively gets involved? Start to talk to your neighbors about that. Flooding affects us. Why don't we have a constituency board of supervisors at our level to address flooding, to address mosquitoes, to address traffic, to address all of the issues that affect us in our constituency? Those are the things that you need to start to talk to one another about. We need to join hands. We need to join hands. One people under one flag. Today I also looked at the optics in that room. It was like the United Nations. Literally, every creed and race was represented in that room today. You need to come and feel that. It ain't old talk anymore. The Progressive Empowerment Party is a tool. It is your vehicle to change. It is a service organization. It is not one of those emperor things. This is an organization that is set up for the sole purpose of rescuing Trinidad and Tobago. All of us have to work together to make it happen. And we look forward to meeting each and every one of you in person coming on board. If you could make cake and sandwich and tulum and tamban ball and you want to bring and share with everybody, fantastic. If you're overseas and you would like to help us with something, you want to send us some orange jerseys or some black jerseys, reach out to Satish or Lima. If you want to help us with some finance, reach out to Felicia or Shari or Satish. If you want to get involved and you're based overseas and you come up with an idea and you would like to help us, do it. Let's do it. Orange umbrellas, orange flags, we need all those things. And if you can help us, we're very, 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 very appreciative. Yeah? So I think that should be it for tonight. I really just felt to check in with you all. I left that meeting today exhausted, but I came home and I had a nice nap and I woke up saying, you know what? I really want to just talk to the people tonight, because today's meeting was so, it was so encouraging, it was so motivating. I wish there was a general election tomorrow. I wish it was possible for us to start to fix this place tomorrow. I wish the people in Tobago could leave their house 15 minutes before they need to get on the boat and the boat leaves on time. I wish we could get back to a place where everybody in this country, Trinidad and Tobago, have had all of the benefits that this country was supposed to be, the paradise on earth that it was always meant to be. Yeah? So until we meet again, I guess the next video will probably be Monday night. But between now and then, stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.